right, guys, so today we're talking about how to press into handstand. Now, before we actually get started, I'm about to say some things that are probably not going to be popular or things that you actually want to hear. But step number one is actually having a 30-second handstand, right? So that means you've had the time to build strength for a proper handstand. Your alignment is where it needs to be. You feel comfortable being upside down. This is step number one. All right. Now, the reason why I say that is a lot of you are asking about pressing the handstand, and you're doing 10-second handstand holds, or you're kind of questionable holding for 5 seconds. So you want to be very, very comfortable with a basic handstand. All right. Now, obviously, if you can handstand, you've worked from a headstand, so on the top of the head, you've worked up to your forearm stand, and then to maybe your handstand, or sometimes they're interchangeable. But you have a solid foundation with the actual handstand first. All right. Step number two, a lot of people like to practice using the wall. I never practice using the wall, pressing the handstand. I don't recommend that you use it practicing for a press the handstand, because once you get to the point where you want to come away from the wall, you'll become very dependent on it, and then it's like you're delaying your progress, but at the same time, it's like you're starting all the way over, because it's two different things. Now, I will say pressing up against the wall is good for building strength, but when it comes to your actual balance, when you're going to need to balance without the wall, it's going to be problematic for you, and it's going to be hard to kind of transition and graduate from that. All right, now, the way I like to teach it is you have to know how to press into a headstand first, all right? So we're going to cover all this. You're going to press into a headstand. You're going to spend some time getting comfortable with that. Then your next step would be to press on your forearms, and then you can go on to trying to press the handstand, all right? So again, a lot of us we're trying to go straight to Z, all right? We want to skip A, B, C, D. We want to skip all that. We want to go straight to Z, and it just does not work like that. So step number one, you've got a solid handstand. You've got a solid forearm stand and a headstand. All right, so your next step is you want to practice pressing in a headstand. Now, you're going to ask me, well, why would I do that when I want to press to a handstand? Well, you're going to learn what muscles to use. You're going to learn how to stack your hips. You're going to learn how to breathe. And then you're going to set a solid foundation that's going to carry you all the way up to your actual press to handstand. Now, again, this is not going to be popular, but if you want to do it the right way, this is what I recommend. All right. Now, when we press to headstand, all right, you want your hands to be, shoulder distance apart. I'm assuming you already know how to do this. If you don't, I have products on my website where you can learn from the very basic beginner to learn the headstand. All right. So I'm going to come to the top of my head. All right. Elbows are in, hips up. Now, I'm going to walk until I can't walk anymore, so that my hips are stacked. Now, when I say stacked hips, you see where my hips are, all right? So I'll take a big inhale here, and then exhale as I explode, bringing the legs up, all right? Now, you're going to say, what am I talking about? Stacked hips. Stacked hips is, I just showed you. So you're walking, you're going pretty much as far as you can go walking, so that your hips, so see how I'm standing on my knees. Now you see that my hips are aligned all the way through the top of my head. So when you're upside down, your hips are aligned all the way down to the top of your head. That's what I mean when I say stacked hips. Now, why are stacking the hips very important? It's important because it's going to enable you to use the least amount of energy as possible when going up into an actual press to handstand later down the road. But then to actually prepare yourself for stacked hips, you're gonna have to work on opening your hips and hamstrings. All right. Now I just put a video up last week, so it's a daily hip and hamstring opener. I recommend doing this every day, and then I recommend practicing your very basics of pressing the handstand every single day so that you have a solid foundation. All right. Now again, stacking the hips, the more you stack your hips or the more your hips are stacked, the easier it's going to be to press up. Now, all stacked hips are going to do is, when we think about pressing the handstand, your core, all right, all your core is doing is raising your lower body up, all right? So that's all you're doing. You're making it the easiest way possible to raise your lower half of your body up, all right? And you're using that through the core, and the more your hips are stacked, the simpler it's going to be, all right? So work on your flexibility. Now, coming back to the headstand. Now, before you actually press the headstand, I like to teach 1 foot at a time, all right? So what do I mean? So before you actually raise both feet up, you want to work on one leg. You want to practice that on both sides, all right? So I'm here, stacking the hips up, so one leg up, boom, all right? Now if I bring it down, so same thing, other leg, left leg up, boom, all right? Once I'm comfortable with that, you stack those hips up, both legs up, boom, all right? Once I become comfortable with that, you can bring the feet together, exhale up, boom, all right? So those are the steps. Working on a single leg press on both sides. Spend some time doing that for weeks. You know, prepping up your body, going up and down non-stop on both sides. Left leg up, down, boom. Right leg up, down, boom. Left leg up, back to back to back. Now, you want to do that because it's going to build your solid foundation, right? So you want to do reps of it. Whatever you're doing, you want to turn it into reps. That way, you're building the muscles that you need through your core, through your upper body, through your shoulders to actually prepare yourself for your press and handstand. All right. Now, there are 2 different types of pressing that you can do when it comes to the basics, right? So you have your straddle press, which is when the legs come out and up, and then you have your pike press, which your legs are together and you bring your legs up, all right? So I've showed you the different steps. I'm gonna show you again, and then we'll move on to the forearms, and then we'll go to the handstand, all right? So you wanna spend time pressing one leg at a time, all right? And you wanna turn it into reps, all right? So both sides. All right. Now here is our straddle press. Exhale up. All right. Here's the pike press. This is the tougher one. Exhale up. All right. Now let's talk about breathing. And again, this is going to carry on all the way up till you get to your press and handstand. All right. So before I explode bringing my legs up, I take a big inhale and then I exhale as I bring my legs up. All right, so let's do it. And you're going to use this method all the way up till you get to the point where you're pressing to a headstand. All right, so I'm here, top of my head, big inhale, exhale, explode up. All right. Now remember to keep those elbows in when you are pressing on your headstand. Now, you want to apply the same thing to your forearm stand, all right? So you want to work so that you start off with one leg, All right. So starting off with one leg, even on your forearms. So on your forearms, again, I'm assuming since you want to press the handstand, you already know how to go into a forearm stand, right? So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that. So same thing, one leg up. So you wanna walk, one leg up, and then press it up. All right. So same thing, you want to do the same thing on both sides. So practice on the left leg up, right leg up. All right. So same principles apply. All right. And then when you get comfortable, you can work on bringing both legs up. So a straddle press, and then you can go to a pike press. All right. Again, turn it into reps. So even if I'm practicing on the forearms before I get to the point where I'm working on the handstand, I'm turning it into reps. All right. So I'm gonna go up, come down, boom. Go up, go down, boom. You always want to go into failure. So you always want to turn it into reps, and you want to keep going until you can't go anymore. Take a break, do it again. Why are you asking me to do this? Because it's gonna make it easier for you, and you'll learn what muscles to engage again, but you're building a solid strength foundation along the way. All right. And you're building up the body awareness. All right. So again, after I've graduated from one leg, I'm going to do both legs. And again, we're still applying the stacked hips to it. So stacking your hips, you're going to walk as much as you can. So you're going to walk up till you can't walk anymore, and then press it up. All right. So same thing. Now, the moment you all have been waiting for is the actual press to handstand. All right. So I spent the time I need to spend, practicing my headstand press. I worked on my forearm press. Now I'm feeling comfortable. My body is strong. I'm not using the wall. I know how to breathe going up. I have a 30-second handstand. My shoulders are strong enough. Mentally, I'm ready for this, right? When it comes to pressing to a handstand, you want to, first of all, you want the fingers nice and spread, all right? Fingers nice and spread. Hands are going to be shoulder distance apart, right? Now the object of the game is to keep my shoulder girdle as stiff as possible, arms as straight as possible. And here we go again with that phrase, stacked hips, all right? So again, the more your hips are stacked, the easier it's going to be, all right? So I'm going to show you a different angle here. So we're just going to work on stacking the hips, and then we'll start to press off one foot, all right? Now, some of you guys like to use blocks and all this stuff. I mean, honestly, if you really have to use a block, you need to spend more time on your flexibility and your strength, all right? So let's go for it. Again, that's probably not something that you want to hear, but if you want me to tell you the truth, that's what I'm here for, all right? Now, I'm going to stack my hips. Walk, walk, walk. Right leg up. Boom. So same thing. Walk, walk, walk. Right leg up. Boom. All right? So again, same thing on both sides. Again, we're going to talk about the breathing. So before I actually go up, I'm taking a big inhale. Just like you're filling a balloon up, you're filling those lungs up with air, and then exhale as you explode up. So if you picture a balloon, when you put all the air in it, I mean, it's inflated, it's like, and then when you exhale, release it, what does it do? It just explodes everywhere, right? So same type of concept when you're pressing the handstand. So again, hands are shoulder distance apart. You're going to stack your hips. you're going to breathe properly, and then you're going to explode up. All right? So, big inhale, my hips are stacked, and then I'm going to exhale, explode up. All right? Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully, you guys are staying away from the wall. Hopefully, you're going to work on pressing from a headstand to a forearm to your handstand, right? So, again, when you're pressing, you want to start on one leg on both sides. Then you can go to your straddle press. Then you can go to your pike press, right? Continue to work on increasing your flexibility, which will, again, make it easier for you to press up because your hips are going to be stacked and it's going to be less energy you have to use because you're flexible and your lower half is already where it needs to be. All right? Make sure that you are not trying to go too fast. You're taking your time. You're really engaging the core. I know I spoke about the core. So, again, building that solid wall for your actual core. Now, you're going to do that from practicing your pressing from headstand, your pressing to forearm stand, right? So, all along the way, which is going to prepare you for that press to handstand. All right? Well, again, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like this video, make sure you like, share, absolutely subscribe. Also hit the notification bell next to this actual subscription button. Now, for you guys that are coming from Instagram, it's going to come to the point where I'm not going to let you guys know that these videos are up. You're going to have to subscribe, all right? So it's not that hard. Just hit the subscription button. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification button. You're going to be notified. Again, if you want to miss out on the good stuff, the free stuff, hey, be my guest. But if you want to keep up with what's going on, hit the subscription button, and I'm out.